DirtVision is home to all the greatest shows on dirt. World of Outlaws sprints, late models, and Super Dirt Car Series. You also get Dirt Car Summer Nationals and weekly shows from America's top tracks. DirtVision has the best all-around live coverage with flexible options for casual and hardcore fans. No commitments, cancel anytime, apps for most devices. Get your Fast Pass now at DirtVision.com.
Wanted the best, you got him for abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws! World of Outlaws Dirt Racing is available now.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the season finale for the 2022 World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series, powered by iRacing. We are at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we get ready to go green for one more time, the 10th round of the 2022 season. And we've got some action, we've got some money to give away, we've got a checkered flag everybody's chasing. This is going to be a great night. Glad you could join us, Tim Terry and Chase Rodman along for the ride. And Chase, we've done 9 of these races so far. Hard to believe we're already at the season finale, but a great venue to cap off the season with the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yeah, it just makes sense, Tim. Real life World of Outlaws, case late model series. They finish off their season as well here in the real world, along with the World of Outlaws Non-Drink Sprint Car Series and the Super Dirt Car Series. So it just makes sense to do it in the virtual world as well. As take a look at that schedule, Tim. We've ran 9 races, as you mentioned. Started off the year at Fairbury, and now we are ending it off here at the dirt track at Charlotte. And a big half-mile speedway here, and it should be a fun night of racing here to cap this thing off.
Absolutely, it should be, as these drivers getting ready to qualify, and we'll have some heats and a couple of last chance showdowns along with a 50-lap feature upcoming to crown our champion. Well, actually, our champion's already crowned. Evan C. has clinched the championship, and Chase, one side of the coin to the other, he is clinched, but he's not here tonight.
Yeah, Evan C. has been suspended from the series after actions last week of intentional wrecking, and so Evan C. not here tonight, but like you said, Tim, he has enough points over Blake Majulis to where he didn't need to be here in the first place, so he will not be on track tonight, but he has still clinched the championship after last week.
And there are some spots to race for. You look at a couple of these spots here throughout. Dylan Wilson, Barrett Bishop are going to be close. 5th, actually to 8th. Is pretty close. Kendall Tucker, Logan Rumsey, 3rd and 4th. There's a $1,000 difference when we talk about those 2 spots. So that could be huge in between those 2 if something happens that Kendall Tucker does not make the A main here this evening. Then you talk about relegation, and you look at those spots right around that red line. They're going to be highlighted in yellow on the ticker when we do go green tonight, so you can follow along. But James Edens has to have a clean night. Jesse Wall, Justin Norwood, Drew Hopkins are the three that we are really watching for 15th, 16th, and 17th to lock yourself in to this series next season. Matthew Selby and Alex Bergeron also far chance from getting in, but they do have an option if they can make it. But speaking about the dirt track in Charlotte, Chase, this is our venue for our season finale.
Yeah, dirt track at Charlotte, located here in Concord, North Carolina, right across the street from the big mile-and-a-half track that NASCAR races at. 2020 winner was Evan C. Biggest event of the year coming up just about a month from today. The World Finals for the World of Outlaws Sprint Cars, Late Models, and the Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modifieds. That is a huge event, 4 days this year. And, a big capacity for a dirt track, 14,000 spectators. And, man, this place... It is just so fun to go to every year, Tim. You get so many race cars there. You get a big, wide, and fast racetrack like this place, and it's just the right place to cap off a season.
And we are getting ready to do that here this evening. 29 strong have qualified. Heat race number 1 of 4 set to grid. Who is starting this one?
Yeah, let's take a look at the lineup here, and it's going to be Dylan Wilson on the pole of heat race number 1. That driver out of Bakersfield, California, the D1RT Racing number 80 car. Outside of it, one of our relegation drivers got a good qualifying effort here tonight. That is Drew Hopkins from Rockcastle, Kentucky in 157 for CFM Esports. Run number 2 on the inside, that's the 05, and Nathan Waddell. He's from Anniston, Alabama, in the Apex Industries 05, and outside of him, another one of our relegation drivers we'll be paying attention to this evening, the 52 car. That's James Edens from Santa Rosa, California, driving for Swindell Speed Lab Esports. And then we got to the third row, driver third in the point standings, 5th on the starting grid here for this one, the 00 car of Kendall Tucker from Mount Airy, North Carolina for Swindell Speed Lab Esports. And outside of him, man, those guys actually right next to each other in the point standings. The 41 of Logan Rumsey for Slick Sim Sport from Manchester, Pennsylvania. And your final 2 starters for this one, the 25 car, Zach McSwain for Ryco Motorsports from Mooresboro, North Carolina. And final starter, the 113, Jaden Kraus from Louisville, Kentucky. Ryco Motorsports sponsors the 113 car. So 8 cars, 10 laps, and the top 4 moving straight into the feature. There is tonight's race program.
And if you don't make it through the top 4 in your heat, you do have one more chance in the last chance showdowns. Top 2 at 12 laps will advance from those. No cautions in our qualifying races. The feature is 50 green flag laps. Caution laps in the feature will not count. So that is going to be our program this evening as we look forward to rolling these cars momentarily to qualify. I like that third row. The unfortunate thing for Kendall Tucker and Logan Rumsey, who are battling for third in the points, which is a $1,000 dip, as you can see on your screen. Per race, $300, $200, $100 for your top 3 this evening. Tucker and Rumsey, outside of transfer positions right there in that row, going to be looking to advance. James Edens needs a good night tonight as well, needs to lock himself into this feature to really have a little bit of insurance on that relegation bubble. Something could happen in the A-main that could make him shake in his boots a little bit, but definitely needs a good run here in that 52.
Yeah, there's, a lot of the storylines we talked about at the top of the show are right here in this first heat race. You got Rumsey and Tucker battling for a pretty good payday, the difference between 3rd and 4th in the point standings. And then you got James Edens, you got Hopkins up there. Both of those guys close on that relegation marker. And then another driver that's actually not locked in on points is very close and not here tonight, right, Tim? Travis St. Clair, I believe. No, or is that Travis Oldfield? Did I mess that up?
Travis Oldfield, yeah.
Okay, Travis Oldfield. So
yeah.
St. Clair is here tonight, but, James Edens right there, about 19 points ahead of Jesse Wall coming into the night, and then Drew Hopkins 7 points behind Jesse Wall. So there is a lot riding on this heat race for those drivers, car number 157 and car number 52, and they both are starting up there in transfer spots. And then you got Tucker and Rumsey back there starting outside of a transfer. Could be an interesting set of last chance showdowns if we don't have any movement here from that third row.
And you know what? We've seen a few last chance showdowns that have been fairly packed, including last week. I believe that first last chance showdown had a lot of top name drivers in that one. We'll see where everybody shakes out this evening, though. Green flag flies on heat race number 1 in the season finale at the dirt track at Charlotte. And quickly we get a battle between Hopkins and Waddell as they go door to door, and he opens the door for Edens, opens the door for Rumsey. Rumsey to the outside.
And not the start Hopkins was looking for. Got together with Waddell. Now he's on the bubble spot. Now he's in 5th as Rumsey takes that position across the start-finish line. Hopkins stuck on the bottom. Does make the pass on Rumsey. Tries to slide up in front of him. Not able to do that. Waddell is there, and now Hopkins drives it in deep. Thought we were going to see a slider on the 0-5 of Waddell as they're still side by side for the final transfer spot down in turn 1.
Keep in mind, your yellow drivers on your ticker are those involved in the relegation battle in the top 15 in the championship points, with Hopkins and Edens being 2 of those in this heat race. Is the 157 of Hopkins, Logan Rumsey, and Kendall Tucker going at it for a transfer position, and Rumsey wants it. Might have given a little heave-ho that time to Hopkins, and here comes Tucker to the inside.
Yeah, Hopkins got moved out of the way, and now Rumsey gets moved out of the way by Tucker. He hits the wall down the front straightaway, and the 157 of Hopkins right back into the mix there. Got moved out of the way by Rumsey off of 2 last time by, then Tucker did the same thing to Rumsey off of 4. Move Rumsey back to 6, Hopkins to 5th, and now Kendall Tucker on the final spot to make the show as we ride on board with the race leader. That's Dylan Wilson.
He might be the only one right now that's breathing a little sigh of relief as he sees those battles behind him and some anxious moments from even second on back. Look at Waddell making that move, trying to get there to the inside of James Edens and give himself a little bit of insurance. This is the battle transfer, though. Drew Hopkins in the 157 trying to get a little bit of bite to the inside. Kendall Tucker to the outside as they duel it out for the final transfer position through Heat 1.
Yeah, Hopkins in trouble here, not catching up here with Kendall Tucker. Goes down the bottom, slides into the middle. He's got the 25 of Zach McSwain behind him. Hopkins needed to transfer out of this thing, especially after starting from second there, Tim. Second to 5th, he's not going to be happy about that. Could have put himself in a good position to potentially run with the top 5 here tonight as he hits the wall entering turn number 1, and McSwain is now looking to the inside down the back straightaway.
And you look at those drivers that are outside of the transfer position. Here comes McSwain up the hill. The Hopkins 157 back to the inside. Lead battle getting intense as well as Edens tries to get it here on this final lap of competition. Dylan Wilson holds that top spot. Edens looking for position number 1, but he's not going to do it as the 80 will come back across the stripe. And Wilson will win heat race number 1 with Edens, Waddell, and Kendall Tucker holding on. We mentioned about those last chance showdowns being stacked. How about Hopkins, McSwain, Rumsey being in there? There's some championship implications in those 3 spots, and Jaden Krause is going to have to get up on the wheel, finishing in 8th after heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 set to come to the racetrack.
Yeah, here is the starting lineup. Driver currently second in the point standings and the 2019 Series champion. It's Blake Majulis out of Asheville, New York, in the 127 for CFM Esports. And outside of him, car number 82, that's Desmond Busby. He is out of Stockton, California for T1RT Racing. Row 2 on the inside of the 19 car, that's Mike Augustine. Augustine out of Danville, Pennsylvania, the Traction Control Motorsports number 19. And outside of him, it's the 357. That's Cody Sieber from Max Group Sim Sports. He's out of Clinton, Tennessee. Row 3, the number 4 car, had a good run last week. Justin Norwood, the 3D Racing car. He's out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And outside of him, the number 12, that's Ben Countermarsh from Mud Duck Racing. He's from Union, Kentucky. And your final starter for this one, well, we talked about him at the top of the show, currently has the position for the final lock into next year's series, Jesse Wall. And car number 2 from Boiling Spring, South Carolina, the Ryco Motorsports entry. And Wall is going to start dead last in this one after a couple of his relegation enemies, I guess you'd call them there, Tim, have transferred already through the heat race, including James Edens.
Yeah, he is going to need to get up on the wheel and make up a couple of positions, and I wouldn't want to rely on one of those last chance showdowns here this evening. For more information on this series, schedule, how to get involved, take a look at the drivers and the cars that they drive, head over to iRacing.com/WOOLM for World of Outlaws late models and get up to speed on all the information in this series. And we mentioned these point standings, they are over there, so you talk about this battle that Jesse Wall has to get into, head over to WOOLM or iRacing.com/WOOLM and you can get all the information on these points battles as they run or as they get ready to run here in heat race number 2. Just a couple of moments away from this field rolling off and us locking 4 more drivers into the season finale.
Yeah, we've got some interesting names here in this one. What a great season it's been for the number 19 car. We've talked about him quite a bit. Mike Augustine there, Tim. coming into tonight, let's see where he's at in points. He's 10th in points for a rookie to the series. That is a pretty darn good year, and Augustine has made every single feature event of the year. And, well, last week at Volusia got his best run of the season after transferring to the Last Chance Showdown, finished 9th in that feature event. Augustine has been fun to watch this year, and looking to be a future contender with the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series in years to come.
Yeah, having a great effort sitting in position number 3 in this heat race, so he'll have an opportunity to gain a little bit. Desmond Busby has had a great season as well in the 82, starts in the outside of row number 1, and obviously Blake Majulis. Hard to beat Blake Majulis when he is on his game, and he'll start from position number 1. He definitely has the track position to start this second of 4 heat races this evening from the dirt track at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as the pace truck gets ready to give our field back in command of the 127 of Blake Majulis, and see who will qualify through this heat race for the top 4. Pace truck is going to make that turn into the infield field in command of Blake Majulis as the field works through corners number 3 and 4. Busby to the outside, and here comes the field. Green flag is out. We are underway. Great start for Majulis. It's a battle for third on back.
Yeah, keep an eye on the number 4 car right there, the red and yellow machine of Justin Norwood. Oh, Majulis into the wall for 2, and he's going to drop to the tail. What happened to Majulis right there? He got into the wall, might have had some help from Busby, and he did. And your second place driver in the point standings is all the way at the tail end of the field.
That is absolutely huge as Desmond Busby and Michael Augustine now go side by side for the lead with Justin Norwood in behind. Cody Sieber trying to make something happen in this heat race. There goes the 19 down to the inside as the 82's got that little, he's right up against that wall. That right rear is right there, flirting with a little contact there as the 19 holds onto it.
And Augustine, what a save as Busby got into the right rear quarter panel. That moves Norwood to second. Here comes Jesse Wall to the inside of Augustine now. And Wall started dead last on the field, and he's going to take third down the back straightaway. This race for the lead not over yet, though, as you ride on board with Majulis all the way at the tail. And we talked about the Last Chance Showdown being stacked after heat race number 1. How about add Majulis into that mix if you can't get up there in the next 6 laps?
How do you get by those cars? This is a great show, by the way, from Blake Majulis, but how do you get by 3 of those cars or 2 of those cars in order to get in to the feature through this heat race? We're going to go 3 wide for the lead one more time. Why not? Justin Norwood in the middle, Busby trying to hold it on the outside, and Jesse Wall from the last place starting position in this heat. 3 wide to the inside. Fantastic racing.
And Jesse Wall, I would have to say, if he can win this thing, might be the first time we've ever seen a heat race won by the final starter in a heat race. That is unbelievable what he's been able to do on the inside of the racetrack, no less, Tim. Trying to get by Norwood off of turn number 2, move the 2 machine up to P2 as Busby's trying to run away and hide. Behind them, it looks like Majulis is not going to make it here, Tim. He's got a lot of damage to the right side of that car, and it's slowing him down big time. The race for 4th, though, is getting a little bit hot and heavy here. The 19 of Augustine and the 357 of Sieber.
As you look at that battle for position number 2 on the top, or the lead is the 82 of Busby. Tries to make it a battle for second behind him. Jesse Wall trying to get every point that he can. These heat races do pay points, so if he can pick a couple up here, that would be great. Final lap of competition in this heat race. Battle for second, battle to transfer. Sieber to the inside of Augustine. Augustine gets a great run off the corner. Jesse Wall gonna clear for second, all behind Desmond Busby as Busby wins heat race number 2. Jesse Wall in position number 2. Justin Norwood, and it's gonna be Mike Augustine picking up position number 4. Sieber, Majulis, and Countermarsh have to come through a Last Chance Showdown. Those first 2 heat races were phenomenal. We'll see 2 more coming up after this.
The greatest shows on dirt have the best fan gear in motorsports. Show your support for World of Outlaws sprints and late models. Go to worldofoutlaws.com and make your way to the Buy Now section in the upper right corner. You'll find hats, shirts, hoodies, and other great souvenirs for all fans. Spend $50 or more to get free shipping. Shop anytime at worldofoutlaws.com.
World of Outlaws Dirt Racing is available now.
The World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series is brought to you by ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Pick up your ButtKicker today at thebuttkicker.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Available on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Drive like an outlaw.
If you haven't got your hands on that World of Outlaws dirt game yet, be sure to do it now. Pick it up for your favorite console. Chase, that is it's something that you need to get your hands on if you haven't already. Speaking about our hands-on, we've got a lineup for Heat Race number 3.
Yeah, let's take a look at who's starting where in this one. On the pole, car number 48, that is Dylan Yeager out of Hamilton Township, New Jersey for CFM Esports, and outside of him, car number 18, that's Cameron Kaysen for Ryco Motorsports. He is from Dallas, Georgia. Row 2 on the inside, car number 21, that'll be Damian Kiefer. Kiefer coming to us out of Bloomsdale, Missouri in the Apex Industries entry, and outside of him, the 14, J.D. Brown for Slick Sim Sport. He's from Bakersfield, California. Row 3 of the 46, that is going to be Matthew Selby from Louisville, Kentucky for Powerhouse Performance. Outside of him, the 55 car, Cruz Cadell out of Clarksville, Georgia for House of Speed Esports. Final starter in this one, the number 91 car, that's Felix Roy. He's from Naperville, Quebec, Canada. One of our, multi-pro licensed drivers, Felix Roy, iRacing Off-Road Racing Championship driver as well. And, he's had a up-and-down season, Tim. He's finished 3rd and 4th, and he's finished 13th. The rest of them, he has not made the show, but he could be another big name that we add to these LCSs later on.
Yeah, absolutely. They're already stacked as they are, and we're going to add 3 more names to those last chance showdowns where the top 2 will advance. We'll take the top 4 from this heat race and the next heat race as well. Felix has had a up and down season. He missed, I believe, the first round or 2, and then worked his way into a couple of these races, had a couple of really good runs, and then has seen the other side of that as well. The 55 to the outside of Cruz Cadell has missed the last few rounds. Good to see him back here on the series, and he'll start on the outside of row number 3, trying to make his way into a feature. For more information on how to get your iRacing career started, head over to iRacing.com and get signed up if you want to do some dirt racing. Maybe you're a pavement oval guy. Maybe you want to do some road course racing, some off-road racing, as you mentioned earlier, Chase. Whatever your fancy is, you can do so. Get in behind the wheel and do some racing yourself. Head over to iRacing.com and see how you can get behind the wheel today. As we get ready for heat race number 3, it rolls off, and this is a very intriguing field here. I think somebody's going to step up here and maybe make something happen and put themselves into this AMA with a pretty good starting position.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing, out of the 48 of Dylan Yeager. Had a great qualifying effort, and with the problems for Majulis, I feel like that really opens up, who could possibly win this race tonight, Tim. I mean, if you look at the wins list this year, 5 for Evan C., 3 for Blake Majulis, and 1 for Hayden Cardwell. 3 drivers have won the 9 races, and I think tonight, we've got a pretty darn good shot of seeing a new winner, and I think it could be the 48 of Dylan Yeager here this evening. He's been extremely fast all year, 7th in the point standings, 7 top 10s, 4 top 5s on the year. It's been a decent season for him, but I know how badly he wants to win that first career World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series. If he's able to win this heat race, Tim, he will start 3rd in the feature later on.
Well, C and Cardwell are not here, and we just saw the luck of Majulis. It opens the door for somebody to have a very large night, though we saw Majulis last week come from the back of the field. Green flag is out in this heat race. 3 wide already for 4th, 5th on back, and look at J.D. Brown to the inside of Kaysen.
Yeah, J.D. Brown now making friends here on lap number 1. Got into the side of Cameron Case and moves him up out of the way. Cruz Cadell, the 55 car is going to take advantage, move him up to the 4th position. Cadell actually looking to make his first feature of this season, Tim. Well, what better way to do it than here on the very last race of the season?
Making friends in a heat race. I didn't think that was possible.
No, that doesn't happen too often, really. We've seen that many times throughout this year where guys just get rooted out of the way. And that is indeed what happened there with J.D. Brown and Cameron Kaysen. I'm sure Kaysen, if he can get back up there in that 18 car, Tim, I'm sure he'll let J.D. Brown know that he's not very happy.
Brown going to push the cushion, push up against the wall. The 55 of Cadell trying to pick up one more position to move him up a little closer as you're right on board with Cruz. Haven't seen him a whole lot in the last couple of rounds, but good to see him here. And he is now on defense mode as the 14 of J.D. Brown trying another power move to the inside. And oh boy, here comes 18.
Yeah, this could get ugly here as J.D. Brown knows that he did make a mistake on that first lap, and Kaysen might have payback on his mind as they work down the front straight. Looking to the inside as the 18 car to the 14. Gonna slide up the hill a little bit there, gets it to the left rear, plays nice for now, Tim.
4 now, but there's still 4 laps left to go in this one this time by, and Selby's not far off this battle as well. Brown has the final transfer position. Kaysen wants it. Selby wants it. Little contact right there, and this might open the door for the 46.
And the 18's going to feed it back to him again. 3 wide as here comes Selby trying to take advantage of it. They're still 3 wide. Oh, and they squeeze into each other down the front straightaway. Selby's going to go by both of them right there, Tim. What a perfect scenario there for the 46 of Matthew Selby to take the transfer away.
Brown and Kaysen have been both kind of nibbling each other. They've been kind of feeding it back and forth. I wonder if it's going to be feast or famine here, because somebody is going to get fed, and I'm not sure which one it is, but Kaysen's fighting back on the outside as he battles at the 46. Up in front, we get a battle for the lead with Dylan Yeager in behind, but Selby is trying to hold off Cameron Kaysen. This might be easier said than done.
Yeah, coming around to the checkered flag this time by. Selby drives it in deep into turn number 3. Kaysen is going to drive it deeper off the corner. They're going to get together, and Kaysen's going to hang on to it. Wow, Selby roughed him up a little bit coming to the finish line, but Cameron Kaysen, after what happened on lap number 1, hangs on to it.
Quick pace to that heat race. Yeager's your winner, Kiefer Cadell, and then Cameron Kaysen will be your final transfer position into the A-main with Selby, Brown, and Roy. You look at those 3 there who had really good runs in that heat. They are going to be in a last chance showdown. That first last chance qualifier is going to be absolutely stacked. We got one more heat race to run before we get there, though. Who's starting this one? 13T Travis St. Clair is going to be on the pole of this heat race, and St. Clair coming to us out of Nashport, Ohio from Max Stroop Sim Sports. Outside of him, it's car number 20. That's Austin Sessions from Mid-South Mafia. He's from Longdale, Oklahoma. Row 2 on the inside, car number 23. That's Chase Barbara from House of Speed Esports from Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Outside of him, the car number 3, Barrett Bishop for CFM Esports. He's from Mount Holly, North Carolina. Row 3, it's the multi-time Sprint Car Series champion, the number 12 of Alex Bergeron for Team ABR Setup Shop. He's from Drummondville, Quebec, Canada. And outside of him, the 79 car, Blake Murray. Murray for Speedworks Mafia. He's from Gaffney, South Carolina. Final starter in this one, it's car number 50. It's Joe Cease from Warrior Racing, Greencastle, Pennsylvania is where he calls home. So once again, 7 cars, 10 laps, 4 moving on. And do we add Bergeron to the already ridiculous last chance showdowns here? We might end up doing that, but if you want to run your last chance showdown or run a last chance showdown and run your career through the World of Outlaws, you can with the World of Outlaws Dirt Racing, available now on your favorite consoles on the screen right now. You can learn more at worldofoutlaws.com, and the career mode is awesome. You've got a multiplayer. You get to race as your favorite dirt driver. Get to race at your favorite racetracks, including this one at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the game as well. All kinds of reasons to pick this up. We'd be here for a while if we rhymed them all off, so get your hands on it now. It is now available. It's fresh. It's been out for a week now. Get it while you can. Watch what we're doing now, and then hop in and do some racing yourself, right?
I mean, Tim, I just actually found out, before the show started, that a couple of these racers here in this Pro Series are actually in the game as, computer drivers. That is absolutely awesome that iRacing and everybody involved with that was able to make that happen. That's a cool thing for these drivers in this series. Not only do they get to race for all this money and they get to be in front of hundreds of thousands of viewers here on all these streams and whatnot, but they made it into a actual video game. That is a pretty cool deal.
And pretty neat to see some local drivers in there as well. Get your hands on it. World of Outlaws Dirt Racing, available now for your favorite console as we get ready to go to green with Travis St. Clair and Austin Sessions on the front row. Two beautiful green, white, and black race cars. Going to lead this field back. Chase Barbara, Barrett Bishop on the outside, who's had a great season in row number 2. And then Alex Bergeron, Blake Murray, and Joe Cease. Cease is just trying to make himself an A-main. We'll see if he can pull it off on the final night of the season as the 13T of Travis St. Clair gets ready to unleash this field and get ready to try to lock himself into the A-main this evening on round number 10 of the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series, powered by iRacing. St. Clair brings him down slow. There it is. Green flag flies. We are underway, and Bergeron already to the inside of Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop not going to let him go by easily, though. I'd say Bishop probably the favorite to win this heat race. Just did not get a very good qualifying effort as he drives back around the outside of Alex Bergeron as they work back into 3 and 4. Travis St. Clair at the front, way up top. There's 3 lanes of racing. They were 3 wide for a moment. In the center of 3 and 4, they get it straight back out, though, into turn 1.
There was a little intensity on that restart. There might have been a little contact between some of those coming down to the green flag as Chase Barbara chases down the 20 of Austin Sessions, Barrett Bishop right there, and they are trying to build the lead on this fracas behind them as Joe Cease picks up one. Oh, Blake Murray, hello. Had a head of steam down in the corner.
Yeah, and Murray got into the back of Bergeron down the backstretch last time by picked up the rear tires on the 12 car. That allowed Joe Cease to go by, move Cease to 5th. And like he said, trying to make his first feature of the season. We saw Cruz Cadell do it a few heat races ago. Could tonight be the night for car number 50?
Needs one more spot, though, and that spot is getting a little bit smaller in the windshield as they battle it out for position number 5. It's a great battle, but it's a battle for position in a last chance showdown and not the A-main. 3 wide, one more time, why not? There's Bergeron's onboard view, looking up at Joe Cease. Oh, boy!
Yeah, Bergeron parked it on the nose right there, and immediately Cease goes back to the 7th position, moved Blake Murray back to 5th, and now racing for the 3rd spot up the road. You see Barrett Bishop trying to look to the inside of the 23 car of Chase Barbara. Talk about it every single week, Tim. When it comes to these transfer spots, every driver that we pass were 2 rows in the A-main starting grid later on. Now Barbara trying to go by Sessions.
Barbara's trying to dig deep here and get one more spot in Austin Sessions, and Travis St. Clair doing a great job up in front leading this thing. They'll come by this time and have 3 laps remaining as Barrett Bishop there as well. Top 4, they're all in transfer positions, but you hit the nail on the head. If they can move up a couple of spots, a couple of rows in the feature lineup, I'm sure they're going to give it a go.
Yeah, Bishop, I'm going to just wait and see how long he tries to wait until he goes to the inside or tries something. He's got plenty of room behind him. Really nothing to lose at this point, Tim, unless he does get together with another one of those drivers. But Bishop might as well try something different here and see if it works. As they come around to the white flag this time by, maybe we'll see something happen here on the final lap.
We'll see who decides to make a move. It's Barrett Bishop to the inside. The 23 of Barbara right on the left rear of Austin Sessions. They throw it down into 3 and 4, and there goes Barbara to the inside. Just slides there enough. Is he going to get the spot? I don't think he got there. Sessions going to hold on to position number 2 behind Travis St. Clair. Barrett Bishop finishes in 4th and transfers in as well. Bergeron picks up a spot at the end of that one over Joe Cease. Blake Murray in 5th and outside of a transfer position. So we've got 4 heat races completed. We've got the last chance showdowns coming up after this.
DirtVision is home to all the greatest shows on dirt. World of Outlaws sprints, late models, and super dirt car series. You also get Dirt Car Summer Nationals and weekly shows from America's top tracks. DirtVision has the best all-around live coverage with flexible options for casual and hardcore fans. No commitments, cancel anytime, apps for most devices. Get your Fast Pass now at DirtVision.com.
World of Outlaws Dirt Racing is available now.
The World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series is brought to you by ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Pick up your ButtKicker today at thebuttkicker.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Available on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Drive like an outlaw.
Welcome back to the dirt track at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and surprise, surprise, we've got one last chance showdown for you. We've got 13 cars lined up, getting ready for one of 4 spots in the field. Chase, this is going to be wild.
I love the look of this, Tim. I love it when we have one last chance showdown. This makes it very, very interesting. Let's take a look at the line. The 157 of Drew Hopkins going to be on the pole, and outside of him, the 357 car of Cody Sieber. Matthew Selby lines up on the inside of row number 2, and outside of him, the 79 car of Blake Murray. Third row, 5th starter, 25, Zach McSwain, and outside of him, 2019 Series champion, the 127 of Blake Majulis. Row number 4 is going to be seen by the 14 car of J.D. Brown and the number 12 of Alex Bergeron, with row 5 being consisted of the number 41 of Logan Rumsey and the number 12 of Ben Countermarsh. Row 6, it's 91 car Felix Roy and number 50 of Joe Siege. Behind those guys in row number 7, actually it's just one driver, the 113 of Jaden Kraus will round out the field here for this one. 13 cars, 12 laps, and the top 4 will transfer all year long. Tim, we've had 2 last chance showdowns with 2 transfers. This time, though, 12 laps and 4 moving on, and a lot of good guys starting outside of transfers for this one, like Majulis, like Zach McSwain, like Logan Rumsey. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, you look at Felix Roy back there. Joe Cease was pretty close, even though he hasn't made a feature all season long. He was close in his heat race. There's a lot of names here that need to get going and need to get going fairly quickly with only 12 laps and only 4 spots ahead. And you look at Logan Rumsey and you look at that potential tonight of potentially taking third on a good night, but he's going to dig deep in this one. Kendall Tucker's already in. You've got some of your top guys that are already in this race, and this could pay some points implications when it comes to crowning those. Not only the relegation that we've been talking about all night long, with those top 10 positions in points.
Yeah, this is a big deal as well for your pole sitter in this one. The 157 of Drew Hopkins came into the night 7 points behind relegation, and Hopkins started second in his heat race, fell all the way, I want to say, to 5th place in that heat race and did not transfer straight to the feature. He's on the pole of this one, so hopefully he has that anchor reeled in here, Tim, because he could see himself running back through the qualifying series if things do not go well here in this last chance showdown. Hopkins, former winner with the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series. I know he does not want to have to run that qualifying series again because we know how many tough competitors there are when it comes to dirt racing here on the iRacing service. So next time by, going green. Going to have my eye on the 157, the 127, and the 41. Those are my 3 that I'm going to be watching for in this one.
Imagine your 10 races, everything coming down to 12 laps in a 13-car last chance showdown to make the season finale. For Drew Hopkins, that's what he faces right now as he leads this field to green in the last chance qualifier. We are underway, and we're already 3 wide for the next one.
Yep, good stuff already as there are cars all over the racetrack. As you look at the race for third, McSwain at 25 to the inside of the 79 of Blake Murray. And then we got Blake Majulis there as well in the 127. He's outside of a transfer spot, got passed by McSwain on the start. Still a lot of laps to go, 10 to go, plenty of time. And you got Rumsey and Bergeron making their way to the front as well.
Selby to the upside, Bergeron on his back bumper gives him a little shot, 3 wide as the 127 of Majulis tries to make something happen with McSwain there as well. He falls back into battle behind him, and Logan Rumsey, where did he come from?
Rumsey to the inside of Majulis, now 3 wide in the middle with Bergeron to the outside. 4th place at the moment belongs to the 46 of Matthew Selby. And what a huge hit this would be to 127 of Blake Majulis if he did not make the show here tonight. That, I would have to look up the stat to see the last time that he missed a feature with this series. He's still got time, Tim, as they're racing hard up in front of him. Selby thought he was going to throw a slider on Murray, but thought better of it.
He knows he's got to go. He sees the 127 behind him with Julius. He sees Rumsey behind him. He's got to get up on the wheel, get himself a little bit of insurance. There's a nice little battle with Rumsey and McSwain, Bergeron, and Jaden Krause digging deep from the back of the field too, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, Krause started last in the 113 car, now 3 wide for the 7 spot with the 113 on the bottom, 4 wide off of turn number 2. Here comes Bergeron. He'll take that spot, and now Majulis almost, and he does. He got into the side of Selby off of turn 4.
Needs to do something here to pick up that spot, and he'll do so. And here comes the 12 of Bergeron to the inside. Majulis has the spot. He's got 5 hungry drivers behind him. Up in front, Hopkins trying to make it happen as there goes the 12 up the hill, and it will leave that 127 with the spot.
My goodness, this is going to get crazy at the end of this one. Majulis closing in quickly on the back bumper of Cody Sieber. He'll look to the inside behind him. Bergeron trying to get by the 46 of Selby, not going to clear him. Selby drives around and has the 5th position. Selby not out of it yet as the top, actually 2nd, 3rd, 4th run the top in turn 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Selby still has that pace to keep up with these guys. Oh, Majulis gets into the back of Sieber right in front of him.
And Rumsey right now outside of a transfer position. McSwain got fed the wall a couple laps ago. His season is over in this World of Outlaws ButtKicker late model series powered by iRacing. Battle for 3rd. Sieber trying to hold on. Majulis there. Selby is there, and they're 4 wide behind them.
Man, Matthew Selby in a good position right here. Tim runs the top nicely right there in 1 and 2. On the back bumper of Blake Majulis down the back straightaway. Race for the lead as well. The 79 of Murray to the outside of the Hopkins. You've got 5 cars under a blanket as Bergeron hits the wall in the background.
White flag final lap in this one as they try to settle it. Up in front, Murray with a run off of 2. Down through 3 and 4. Blake Murray trying to steal this one. Selby in here as well. Majulis going to hold on to the spot. Selby going to be one short as Blake Murray takes it on the final lap to transfer in.
I got to get a hat shake.
A-main.
Hat shake to the 46 there, Selby, Tim. Did not rough up the 127 there.
He didn't rough him up, and Blake Murray went to the outside and had to make it happen. That was a fantastic last chance showdown and a lot of respect between those front drivers. Heartbreak for Logan Rumsey, heartbreak for Alex Bergeron, Felix Roy, Jaden Krause was strong, Joe Cease was strong, and then you look at Ben Countermars, J.D. Brown doesn't transfer, Zach McSwain had issues in that one. That one was very intriguing, very exciting. It leaves us with 20 cars for the season finale. The final A-main comes up after this.
This November, dirt racing's most celebrated stars align in an electrifying spectacle. The World of Outlaws World Finals. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte as the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, World of Outlaws Case Late Models, and Super Dirt Car Series Big Blocks collide. 4 action-packed nights, 3 season champions. Get your tickets now. November 2nd through the 5th at the Dirt Track at Charlotte.
Wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws. World of Outlaws Dirt Racing is available now.
The World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series is brought to you by ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Pick up your ButtKicker today at thebuttkicker.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Available on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Drive like an outlaw.
And if you like what you see here tonight, pick up World of Outlaws Dirt Racing, available for your favorite console. More information at worldofoutlaws.game.com. Multiple different series. You can race as your favorite dirt driver. And oh, by the way, your favorite racetracks as well, including this one, the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the game. We could sit here and talk for hours, Chase, about what you can do in the game, but the easiest thing to do is go pick it up for yourself.
Absolutely. I've heard so many good things from real-world drivers that have been playing it over the last week or so, and it sounds like the reviews are phenomenal. So I still need to pick it up, Tim, and I definitely will do that coming here soon. But, man, just a great job by everybody involved, and it looks like it's been a huge hit so far. But now, Tim, we've got 50 laps to get going here. We got 50 laps, the final race of the season with the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series. Let's take a look at tonight's starting grid. And on the pole, it's the driver out of Bakersfield, California, the D1RT Racing entry of Dylan Wilson. Outside of him, car number 82, it's Desmond Busby from Stockton, California. Busby for D1RT Racing as well. You got teammates on the front row. Row number 2, the 48 car, that's Dylan Yeager from Hamilton Township, New Jersey for CFM Esports. And outside of him, the 13, Travis St. Clair from Nashport, Ohio in the Max Troop Sim Sports car. Row 3, the 52 car, James Edens from Santa Rosa, California for Swindell Speed Lab Esports. And outside of him, car number 2, Jesse Wall from Ryco Motorsports from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Row number 4, the 21 car, Damian Kiefer. Kiefer out of Bloomsdale, Missouri for Apex Industries. And outside of him, it's the number 20, Austin Sessions from Longdale, Oklahoma in the Mid-South Mafia, number 20. Row 5, it's the 05, Nathan Waddell for Apex Industries. He's from Anniston, Alabama. And your 10th starter for this one, it's going to be car number 4, Justin Norwood for 3D Racing. He is from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Behind him, making his first feature event of the season, the 55 car, Cruz Cadell. And Cadell comes to us from Clarksville, Georgia for House of Speed Esports. Outside him, the 23 car, Chase Barbara, also for House of Speed Esports from Ponchatoula, Louisiana in car number 23. Behind him in row number 7, keep your eye on this guy making his way towards the front, the 00 car of Kendall Tucker for Swindell Speed Lab Esports from Mount Airy, North Carolina. And outside of him, the number 19, Mike Augustine from Danville, Pennsylvania for Traction Control Motorsports. Behind him, you got the number 18 of Cameron Kaysen for Ryco Motorsports from Dallas, Georgia. And then your number 3 car, Barrett Bishop, final car in from the heat races from Mount Holly, North Carolina for CFM Esports. Your final 4 cars transferred into that last chance showdown. The 79 of Blake Murray from Gaffney, South Carolina for Speedworks Mafia. And outside of him, the 157 car of Drew Hopkins from Louisville, Kentucky for CFM Esports. Final 2 starters, the 357 of Cody Sieber. Sieber is coming to us out of Clinton, Tennessee from Max Troop Sim Sports. And the number 127 of Blake Majulis will start shotgun on the field. He's from Asheville, New York for CFM Esports. Now, Tim, the last either 3 or 4 races, Blake Majulis has had to transfer out of the last chance showdown. Tonight, he does it in the last position, and it seems like every time he's had to do that, he's finished in the top 5. Could he do it again here tonight?
I guess the biggest question is, and we kind of mentioned it in that last chance showdown, or before we went to the last chance showdown, we've had 3 different winners so far this season. C and Cardwell are not here. Majulis is, but he starts dead last. Can he rally, or do we see a new winner?
Yeah, I think we definitely see a new winner. And if you don't see a new winner, then that is going to be the drive of the century for Blake Majulis. And, well, Tim, I mean, last week, I should say, I don't know where he started. It was definitely 17th or worse, but he almost won last week's feature from the last chance showdown, and he lost it by 7 1/1000ths of a second. Super close. Tonight, I would be thrilled to see him win it from 20th, but I would also be thrilled to see a first-time series winner tonight.
We will see who ends up on top. We got plenty to follow. We got a couple of really close points battles within the top 15, but the relegation is going to be the one that we are going to be following, and you will follow those names in yellow on the left-hand side of your screen as we go through 50 laps here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Dylan Wilson and Desmond Busby are your front row trying to pick up the season finale, the final race of the season in that final checkered flag. We are underway in round number 10, and quickly Wilson gets to the advantage. Dylan Yeager to the inside as he looks for second.
Yeager can't make the pass. Busby drives around him on the outside. Wilson will lead the field into turn number 1. Track did get some prep there before the feature, Tim, so a lot of moisture in it, but we got 50 laps to blow it off and get it nice and slick and side-by-side action. But speaking of side-by-side, we've got it right now. Busby and Yeager back there for second. Then you got St. Clair and Edens racing for fourth. There's a slider for second right there.
Wow, that was big. The 82 of Busby goes back to the inside. Behind them, St. Clair and Edens going at it. And Edens is one of those drivers that just needs to have a good night to lock himself into this series for next year and finish in the top 15 in points, as the 48 of Yeager throwing the big slide jobs. Almost parked it on the 82 of Busby that time. Busby going to try to go back to the inside. I don't think he's got a head of steam here.
Yeah, Busby's got the spot for now, but then Yeager has that momentum on the high side. St. Clair is there as well. St. Clair gets into the side of Yeager, and then James Edens gets into St. Clair. They both keep going. Move Edens now up into the 4th position, but that was a close call for the 13 of St. Clair, who is one of those drivers highlighted in yellow.
Yeah, Travis St. Clair, a little bit of breathing room in that battle, but still, if something goes sideways, could be on the outside looking in, as Kiefer goes to the inside, throws that big slider. In behind him, Justin Norwood kind of sliding into your picture as well. He's inside as you look at the live points, and that's how close it could be. Norwood needs to get up on the wheel to make something happen here as he's at 16th in the championship standings.
And what a night for Jesse Wall to be very, very good. He is looking for his best run of the season. He hasn't had a top 10 all year, and he's running 5th right now when it counts the most, as Wall came in 7 points to the good on the cut line, as they're racing hard for second up ahead of him, as Yeager's going to have it for a moment. Busby back around him as you watch Kiefer, St. Clair, Waddell, and there's that race for second. These guys have been racing hard the entire time, and there's James Edens as well.
Yeah, it opens the door for Edens as they continue to go at it for that runner-up position. Dylan Yeager has been making some moves, but Desmond Busby wants to remind him he's there for second as they go door-to-door again. James Edens trying to get that Swindell Speed Lamp car up a couple of more positions. This is about a second behind Dylan Wilson, as Wilson is pulling away from this battle. Crossover again. Here comes the 82 to the inside. Desmond Busby wants it back.
A 5th of this race is down, and Blake Majulis has gone from 20th up to 11th. You see that 127 moving up the pylon on the left side of your screen as they continue to race for second. Busby not going away easily. They're trying to go 3 wide for second. Edens in the middle, Yeager on the top, and now Busby slides from top to bottom. Bottom to top, I should say. Takes second at the line. Yeager to cross back underneath him and take it right back.
And Busby crosses him in through the middle, and James Edens lets him do it. Edens falls back 1 spot and gives these guys some breathing room ahead of them. Now Yeager back to the inside, crossing them over one more time, and James Edens is just along for the ride here.
This looks choreographed. It looks like these guys are doing it on purpose right now, Tim. Every single corner, there's the slider up the hill, there's the crossover. Edens is there. These guys are putting on a show for the fans here tonight watching at home, and Busby does not drive it all the way up the hill this time. Yeager going to have the run to the outside down the back straightaway.
And James Edens has that front row seat. Busby up the hill. Here comes the 48 back to the inside of Dylan Yeager. Has a little head of steam. The 82 comes up the cushion, down to the inside, pinches that run off, and we'll do it one more time. And Edens looks on from behind. You see Travis St. Clair and Damian Kiefer as well in that battle for position number 6. Oh, there's Blake Majulis there as well.
Yeah, Majulis into the top 10 now, 16 laps into this race. We saw him do it the last 3 or 4 weeks now from the Last Chance Showdown. The race for second, you cannot keep your eye off of it. They have swapped it so many times. There's Majulis up the track in front of Norwood. Can't clear him, but Majulis has gotten by Waddell. He's up to 9th.
Majulis is on the march, trying to get up here and get a little bit closer. Kendall Tucker back there as well. He is your third place points driver and trying to get what he can out of this race. Is Blake Majulis up the hill. Justin Norwood back to the inside. We're 3 wide again for position number 2. Where do you watch here? The racing has been incredible in this one. There's that battle for second. The 82 of Busby, the 48 of Yeager, and the 52 of Edens. And you would think they continue to do this chase. They close in 5th, 6th, 7th on back. Jesse Wall's making some inroads, but not as much as one would think.
Yeah, Jesse Wall's got his hands full as well with the 21 of Damian Kiefer. You can see them at the left side of the screen there. They were side by side off of turn number 4 as this race for second has started to, and Jaeger got the wall right there. There's James Edens, nearly got in the back of him. But this race for second has calmed down a little bit. Jaeger drives it in deep into turn 3, slides it up the hill. Going to get momentum to James Edens, who didn't get enough momentum to try and put a move on him, but Edens looks laser focused right there, trying to land on the podium here for the final race of this season. Majulis is now 8th, by the way.
There's either an earthquake in California or the camera's moving to move everything around. He's sawing on the wheel to make sure he tries to give a caution is on the speedway for the first time here this evening, as Edens from 4th is going to have to slow down. And who was it that brought out her caution? Is it the 55 of Cruz Cadell?
Yeah, Cruz Cadell getting together, I believe, with Mike Augustine here. Also, Drew Hopkins getting a piece of it as well. Mostly a single car incident, though. We'll try and pull up the replay here, but Cadell making his first race of the season here gets involved in an accident, but he is going to be able to keep on coming, and we'll take a look at the replay here in just a moment, Tim, to see what happened.
Yeah, keep your eye on the 55 here of Cruz Cadell. There's Mike Augustine ahead of him, and a little contact there up into the wall, and goes for, hello. He got tagged by Drew Hopkins to go around, and that will bring the caution flag out for the first time on lap number 22. Did Blake Majulis make enough time from 20th to 8th, make enough positions in to make this happen in 27 laps to go from 8th to 1st?
I think he did. I mean, he did exactly what he wanted and exactly what he needed to do. 20th to 8th in 22 laps, got the caution that he needed. I think Majulis is a legitimate threat to win this race after starting dead last, and that would be the first time in any dirt racing, I don't know about rallycross, but any dirt racing on oval world championships to happen. So, I mean, we could witness history here tonight, and a race in a drive that we would never forget there, Tim, to see somebody come from dead last and win it here, no less on the championship night.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go, though. He's still got 7 really quick competitors to get by, in the way they were battling for position number 2. He might have a hard time getting by. Dylan Wilson has set the pace here in this one, the season finale for the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series, powered by iRacing from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And on this restart, we're going to give you one more for the road. We're going to let you be immersed in the sights and sounds of these dirt late models around the dirt track at Charlotte. Let's go full throttle. What once was a battle for second is now a battle for the lead, as Dylan Wilson has not been able to get away from the three-way dance behind him for the runner-up position. It's James Edens chasing down Busby and Jaeger, and Dylan Wilson holds on to the lead, but Chase, it's not by much.
And another driver about to enter the picture. Majulis has gotten by for the 5th position. A 4-car dance up front is going to turn into a 5-car dance. Majulis closing in quickly on the 4th place car of Edens. Jaeger trying to slide in front of Busby, can't do it. Busby back around on the outside. 20 laps to go this time by, and Tim, this is shaping up to be a hell of a finish to this one, with Majulis making his way into the picture. You're right on board with him now.
Yeah, you're right on board with the 127, and you see what is ahead of them. They have been going at it for the first opening 30 laps of this race. They'll come by with 20 laps to go, and Majulis has to find a way to get by these 4 to continue his trend and pick up one more win to close off this season. Might be easier said than done. James Edens has been 4th in this 4-car battle for most of this. Majulis will go by.
Yeah, he is not fourth anymore, but now he is across the start-finish line. Eden's not going to let Majulis go by easily here. Former teammates there, the 52 and the 127, as they get single filed down the back straightaway. Majulis going to look back to the inside. Edens goes back to the top side. Oh, that was a close call for second off the turn number 4. Yeager's got it over Busby.
Busby trying to get back at him. James Edens has decided it's time to go. He sees Majulis there. He gets up on the wheel, battling for that third place position and trying to get up there as Busby may have slapped the wall. The 127 of Blake Majulis trying to get by these two.
Majulis now runs the top in turn 1, diamonds it off the corner, gets a run down the backstretch on the back bumper of Busby. And how many times have we seen this? Edens, whoa, parks it on the nose of Busby, and Majulis goes by both of them as they wreck off a 4.
And they still keep it straight, but they lost a ton of momentum, a ton of time, and it lets Kiefer go by. It lets Wall in the battle. Oh, by the way, Jesse Wall trying to lock himself into this series next year. He wants to pick up a few of these spots and gain a couple points.
What a wild series of events there, and now all of a sudden Yeager's in the back pocket of Wilson down the back straightaway for the race lead. Look at this though, 4 wide. We need 6 boxes on the screen to cover all the action tonight at Charlotte there, Tim, as they're 3 wide again, as Yeager, like I mentioned, all over Wilson for the top spot.
You see that 27-29 point gap that the 2 has at Jesse Wall on 15th. As long as he finishes there, oh boy, we got a battle for the lead as Yeager gets up into Dylan Wilson. He knows Blake Majulis is coming.
Yeah, Majulis faster than both of your leaders the last time by. Actually, the top 2 ran identical lap times at a 15.608. Majulis at a 15.501. Problem is, though, Tim, he's only got 12 laps to get up there. He needs to hope the 48 and the 80 car start battling each other here.
Yeah, or he needs to get up on the wheel and start gaining a 10th and change a lap.
3 tenths that time.
Yeah, he needs to do that every single lap. And oh, by the way, he's got to get there and make the move. As you see the battle for 4th heating up one more time as Kiefer through the middle. It's Busby and Edens. And they were battling hard earlier for 2nd. They're now battling for 4th. And then behind them, there's Kendall Tucker. Oh, this is a mess.
This racing the last couple of weeks in this series has been nothing short of phenomenal. There's Barrett Bishop as well. Bishop trying to get into the mix. He's up to 7th. He started 16th on the field. Trying to go 4 wide off of 2. The door closes. Busby's got the spot with Kiefer now in the middle. Busby on the top and James Eden slow rolling the bottom like we've seen him do several times this season, but he's going backwards a little bit after that contact from earlier.
They cross each other over for the lead. Dylan Yeager had it the last time by. He's going to try to take it back from Dylan Wilson. Up the hill he goes. He lost momentum. Wilson, thank you, sir, picks up the lead one more time as Yeager tries to take it back. And as they do that, Majulis continues to get a little bit closer within the final 10 laps of this race. He'll come to 7 to go. Yeager throws it one more time. Wilson gets back to the inside. Yeager leads that lap.
2 drivers looking for their first career win with the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series, and 1 in 3rd. The 2019 Series champion, multi-time winner, looking to track him down from the 20th starting position. Yeager back up the track, Wilson back to the inside. It's the Dylan and Dylan show at the front of the field with 6 to go that time by.
Majulis gaining a 10th and change each lap. Needs a little more, or needs a little help from these two, whatever way you want to look at it. Yeager up the hill. Wilson didn't get that runoff 4 that he has been getting, but he's able to throw it back in and slide it back into the inside. Here comes Yeager again. Side by side, door to door, down through 3 and 4. The 48 ships it on in. Is it enough? Wilson going to get that run and not get there for the lead, but going to do it down into 1.
I'm waiting for the 48 to throw the slider, Tim, and then block that maneuver going into the corner. Haven't seen it quite yet. Back to the inside, down the back straightaway. Now Majulis within 5 car lengths of Wilson as they come off of 4. 3 laps to go. Wilson back to the inside. Majulis creeping into the picture in the background.
You got to believe they're learning a ton here for the final couple of laps and the final moves of this season. Blake Majulis is closing in. Wilson trying to get it again. Here comes Yeager with the lead, and Wilson back to the inside, and Blake Majulis is there within 2 laps to go. Majulis trying to spoil the party in between Dylan Yeager and Dylan Wilson. Yeager takes the advantage. Wilson trying to get up here and trying to make one more run. Final lap of the season. The 80 of Dylan Wilson has the advantage, and here comes Blake Majulis. 3 wide potentially here in this final lap. as Majulis tries to sail it in. Dylan Yeager has the spot. Up the hill that he goes, and Dylan Yeager, he's pumped up. He wins the season finale at Charlotte.
First career World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series victory goes to car number 48, the driver out of Hamilton Township, New Jersey. It is Dylan Yeager here tonight, out-dueling Dylan Wilson, and 20th starter, dead last on the field. Blake Majulis got there at the perfect time, but just did not have the positioning there on the final corner to put a move on him for the win. But nonetheless, yet another barn burner this year. Tim, how many times have we said, what a race at the end of 50 laps this year?
And they went back and forth and back and forth, and it opened the door for Blake Majulis. That's all he needed. If this was a 55-lap race, I think the story at the end probably would have been a little bit different, but Dylan Yeager taking the win over Dylan Wilson. Wilson led the opening 22 laps to that first caution, and that only caution of the race. And then Yeager in those final 15 was able to take it away. There's your results on your screen. Dylan Yeager's your winner. Dylan Wilson in second. Blake Majulis in third. What a run from 20th to third, and almost taking away the win. Barrett Bishop, Desmond Busby, Kendall Tucker, Damian Kiefer, James Edens. We believe Jesse Wall will hold on to 15th unofficially in the championship standings. Big run for him tonight. Chase Barbara, your top 10. And looking through your field, Nathan Waddell, Travis St. Clair, Mike Augustine, Drew Hopkins, Justin Norwood, Austin Sessions, Blake Murray from the Last Chance Showdown, Cruz Cadell, Cameron Kaysen, and Cody Sieber, your field. What an absolute show for your top three.
Yeah, that was what we came for. Every Monday night, we've seen just incredible racing. I think we need to get together some kind of highlight video of the last 5 or 6 races this season and put them all together, because the finishes, the racing, everything all together has been absolutely phenomenal. And we are now standing by with the first-time winner with the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series. The driver is from Hamilton Township, New Jersey, Dylan Yeager. Dude, you finally got one. I said at the beginning of the feature, I said, I like what Dylan Yeager was doing here in the heat race. I thought he was looking good, and you finally do it, and you do it in style, man. What a finish. What a race.
About time, Chase. I mean, I knew I had the speed this season to win a race. My goal was to win a race and end up top 5 in points, and I don't know if we got one of them goals, but I'm glad we finally got a win, and I can say that I won in this series. That's so awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You definitely accomplished one of those goals. The other goal, very, very close, maybe 6th in points, but nothing to hang your head on, man. An incredible season for you, and tonight really caps it off in the good way. But, man, take us through that battle. It seemed like you couldn't shake Dylan. The other Dylan, I should say. You couldn't shake him, and then you had Blake creeping in there at the end. You had to have him on your mind as well.
Yeah, no, I seen Blake. I knew he was going to be fast, but I kept looking at the intervals. I was like, I don't think he's going to catch us if we keep battling, so I just drove it as hard as I could. I tried to keep the slider going in 3 and 4, because I knew if we switched lines and he went to slide me in 3 and 4, he would have ended up winning the race, because whoever threw the slider in 3 and 4 got to the line first. So it was just a matter of me trying to hold what I was doing, and I knew that, just keep that slider going in 3 and 4 and beat him to the line when the last lap came around.
Well, Dylan, we always love to see first-time winners here in this iRacing Pro Series with World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series. My friend, congratulations and great momentum for 2023. You're a winner, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Real quick, I got to give shout-outs to people. Got to thank everybody at Majulis Speed Shop, CFM Esports. All those guys have helped me the entire season. Evan C., Blake Majulis, Chase Hardy, Barrett Bishop, everybody over there. You know who you are. JDM Designs, Nick Leonard Racing Association, Chris Ferguson. And this is awesome, Chase. This is so cool.
A huge moment tonight for the driver from New Jersey to get his first career victory with the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series at the season finale. Now let's talk to tonight's second place finisher, Dylan Wilson, the other Dylan. It was the Dylan and Dylan show all race long. And, well, Dylan, you had a great start to this race. You pulled out to a big lead, got that caution, and then you and Yeager went back and forth the entire way. Are you disappointed with second? Your third second of the year, couldn't quite get the victory.
Yeah, it kind of stings because I've never won one of these, and I think I've been close twice now in this Pro Series, and I really wanted to win that one. I wasn't going to do anything dumb though to ruin a good points day. I think maybe that might have got us fourth in points, which was a nice pay bump. So I just wanted to finish the race, wherever it was, and hopefully in the top three. And man, just it's fun racing with Jaeger. Me and him have had a lot of good races the last month or so, and that was just an extension of that. And it's cool that everybody could watch it.
Yeah, now I asked him this same question. Obviously, you two are battling back and forth. You're trying to position yourself the right way, but then you've got Majulis coming from the back there and catching both of you. How much was that on your mind? Because it seemed like Dylan the other Dylan, I should say, wasn't really concerned about it. But then at the end, man, he poked his nose under it. He got there.
Yeah, I kind of knew Majulis would get up there at some point. He just, I didn't know he was that close. I was going to cut down under Jaeger in the final corner, and then I saw him, and I kind of turned back up the track a little bit, and that kind of ruined any crossover move. Had I known he was that close, I probably wouldn't have did what I did on the last lap. I may have tried to run the bottom in 1 and 2, maybe take his line away a little bit. But to come out of there second after a good race, clean race, never touched once, I mean, that's what it's all about in the Pro Series.
Yeah, man, we've seen, I think over the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've seen phenomenal racing with this series, and we know you'll be back next year with a 4th place run in points, $1,000 going your way, and Dylan, can't wait for next year.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you everybody that puts this deal on behind the scenes.
All right, Dylan Wilson with a P2 here tonight, and, well, Tim, good stuff so far in these interviews.
Yeah, and I think Dylan Wilson's got a new driver coming up through the ranks as well, easily. But let's chat with our 2022 World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series champion, and that is the driver, the 33 Evan C. 9 races, every single one of them a top 2 finish for our champion. And Evan, I know it's not the night that you want it to, but let's chat about the 9 races that you had, first or second, and you clinched the championship even before we got to this evening. What does it mean to have such a solid run like that?
Yeah, I mean, that was, definitely a pretty special run for us to, have that good of a success and consistency. I mean, that's not easy to do against, all these guys because, it's easy to mess up qualifying out of 10 races or, have one bad heat race and, that kind of sets you back in points. But, we managed to just come out each night and, put together, again, qualifying and heat race every time somehow and, and then had the race speed to be able to compete up front for wins each week. And, that was, I've done this series since 2019 and it seems like I at least have 1 or 4 races and just seem, something happens and something goes bad. And, I always felt like I had the speed. And, this year we just, hit everything right in every race. And, it's definitely just one of those seasons for us.
They say all dirt roads lead to Charlotte. You're going to pick up $10,000 cash plus all the race winnings that you got in those 9 races, your championship trophy. But the trip to the World of Outlaws World Finals at the dirt track at Charlotte, the pit passes, the VIP suites, and the pre-race on-stage recognition that you are the champion. How neat is that going to be? You excited for that?
I've been to the World Finals a lot, and I was already going this year. Me and Blake with the sim rig that we have promoting iRacing and WR1 sim chassis. So it's going to be cool to be there, and also be there. A lot of teammates are going to be there, and also Chris Ferguson, he's going to be racing, so it's going to be even more special to have that take place and get the championship trophy and all that, and it's definitely going to be something to look forward to.
So for all these drivers that are coming through the qualifying series, or all these drivers that are going to have a little bit of time off to try to reset and refocus for the 2023 season, what do they got to do to beat Evan C?
I think it's really just about beating yourself. This I've seen it a lot this year. It's just easy to have a bad qualifying sometimes. Just tapping the wall to line can take away your qualifying lap, or just get involved in something in a heat race that isn't even your fault. That's kind of the way a looking this series, I mean, it's a lot of luck, and everything just went our way. I mean, there was definitely some times in a couple of heat races where it didn't look it was going to end up good for us, but I mean, a lot of luck, and then you got to be fast also to consistently be up front. That's definitely a key. So, like I said, everything just kind of went right for us this year. I mean, past 2 years, it seems like I always had good speed and something would happen, but we just kind of pulled it all together and took all of our knowledge of the past Pro Series and put that to the best use that we could this year.
Just goes to show that the hard work in the shop pays off once again. Evan, congratulations on the championship. All the best at Charlotte, and we'll see you next season.
Yep, thank you.
That is your 2022 World of Outlaws ButtKicker late model champion, Evan C. and Chase. What a season. What you mentioned it off the top here as you look at your unofficial top 15, and Jesse Wall is going to take that 15th place position. But Chase, what a season, what a last couple of races, what a way to finish it off.
I mean, I can only think of maybe one bad race throughout the tent, Tim, and I don't even know if it was that bad. I mean, we had very limited cautions the last half of the season. We had photo finishes, we had drama, we had guys coming from the tail and making it into the top 3. I mean, this series had everything in 2022, and I'm excited for it to come back, but we aren't done yet, Tim. Coming up here in a few short weeks, we're going to bring out the newly renamed World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Pro Series. Very, very excited to get to Volusia Speedway Park there on November 28th. I'm a sprint car guy. I appreciate late models as well, Tim, but I'm a sprint car guy. Excited to see a big name like CarQuest on board.
Yeah, absolutely. That is huge for this series, and those drivers that are going to be taking part of it. And it's again Monday night, so you get a couple of Monday nights here to kind of breathe, do your own thing, and race the World of Outlaws dirt racing. Go over there and get that and get good at it on Monday night. So if you miss what we do, get in the game and do that, but then come back and join us for Volusia on round number 1 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series, November 28th, Monday nights. Mark it on your calendar, Chase. This has been an awesome time, great fun in this series. Looking forward to the next time that we get to do it, but that'll put the exclamation point on the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series for 2022. Congratulations to all the teams. Congratulations to Dylan Yeager on the season finale win, and congratulations to Evan C., your 2022 champion. On behalf of our entire iRacing crew, Chase Rodman, my name is Tim Terry. We will see you in November for the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. Until then, keep the hammer down, and we'll see you at the track.